At the west edge of Albuquerque, the 17-mile escarpment of volcanic boulders is home to thousands of petroglyphs inscribed by the ancestral pueblo people. An aura of mystery surrounds each depiction, inviting the viewer to make their own interpretations. Join me today as we explore the rock art of Boca Negra Canyon. Boca Negra Canyon, the Black Mouth, is considered birthplace of Petroglyph National Monument. Through the efforts of private citizen groups in the 1960s, this area became Indian Petroglyph State Park, and later established as today's national monument in 1990. Although it contains less than 5% of all petroglyphs in the monument, the Boca Negra unit is the most heavily visited, offering 3 short trails to view the rock art. The geologic landscape was created 200,000 years ago by a series of 6 volcanic eruptions. To the west are linear cinder cones that erupted from a fissure, which produced lava flows. This canyon is an example of inverted topography. At the time of volcanic activity, there was once a hill here. The lava flowed around the hill, cooled and hardened into solid basalt rock. Over thousands of years, natural erosion of the hill carried its contents down the slope towards the Rio Grande, leaving volcanic rock around the vanished hill. The petroglyphs are carved into this rock, many with cavities formed by trapped gas bubbles during cooling, referred to as vesicular basalt. The mesa point is elevated 1 mile above sea level. To the east are the Sandia Mountains, and below is the Rio Grande Valley, whose history of human occupation dates back 3,000 years, including the Pueblo people, Spanish colonists, and American pioneers. Petroglyphs were made by carefully removing the desert varnish with handheld stone tools, exposing the lighter colored basalt interior. After centuries of exposure, older images oxidize through rusting of the manganese and iron mixed with oxygen in the air and water from rain. Using relative dating techniques, the petroglyphs were created anywhere between 1000 BC to 1700 AD. The majority of images here were made in the Rio Grande style, which developed suddenly around 1300 AD. Common themes in this style include anthropomorphs, animals, and geometric designs. Petroglyph placement was deliberate, based on the boulder's orientation to the sun and surrounding landscape. Native vegetation is commonly featured in petroglyphs. This yucca pod image conveys its importance to the people. The root, flowers, fruit, and seeds can all be eaten. Yucca leaves are woven into baskets, mats, and sandals, or made into paintbrushes and needles. This panel is one you might see featured on Ancient Aliens, with the interpretation of star people or star beings. Upon first glance, it depicts a face inside a shooting star. Looking closer, notice the 2 bird claws. Similar petroglyphs nearby have more detailed feathers on the top, potentially turkey feathers. What do you think this petroglyph represents? Leave your interpretation in the comments. Ogres appear as disciplinarians or guards in pueblo villages. One of their roles is to scare children into good behavior, otherwise they will be kidnapped and eaten. Some will brandish knives or carry whips or saws. Others use lassos to catch bad children and drag them off. They are highly feared and command respect. Parrots are a symbol of prestige and their feathers are highly valued for ceremonial use. Macaw remains and feathers have been found in many archaeological sites in the Southwest. The most striking artifact I've seen is a macaw feather sash, now housed at the edge of the Cedars Museum in Utah. Presence of macaw remains and petroglyphs in the Southwest demonstrate the vast trade network of the ancestral Pueblo people. In this petroglyph, you can also see a smaller parrot in a cage, presumably being offered for trade or sale. Macaws make an important appearance in the Zuni migration story. The people were split into two groups and presented eggs to choose from, one colorful, like an Easter egg, and the other a dull, bleak egg. They were instructed to follow whichever bird emerged. The group selected to pick first chose the colorful egg, leaving the plain one for the other group. Simultaneously, they cracked the shells. Out of the colorful egg flew a black crow, heading to the north. From the plain egg, a parrot macaw emerged, flying south. Those who went north were termed the winter people, the Pueblo people of today. Those who went south were the people of everlasting sunshine, the Mogollon, Hohokam, Casas Grandes, and possibly Aztec, Mayan, and Incans. The insect here has a similar appearance to one of the Kokopelli motifs found at La Cienega, further north, potentially depicting the desert robber fly. Besides Boca Negra, there are two other trails in Petroglyph National Monument to explore, and I encourage you to visit all three. If you made it this far, please subscribe to the channel and join me on our next adventure.